if the other 9 people in the top 10 are using schema and I don't, then I'm the fucking idiot, not them. There's a lot of shit online, and I'm gonna dispel it right now, right? If you skip the setup and try to rush, you will fall flat on your face and it won't be worth the scale.
So the big topic for now is AI overviews. Do you see them as a threat to your workflow?
No, and I'll tell you why. If you do in different markets, different languages, you're able to, in real time, create content that's useful, post directly to your PBN automatically, and have it translated automatically.
Do you play around with the temperature of the model?
So I use the rewrite prompts to try and use it as like a UX tool. I have spent an ungodly amount of time testing different models. I want to share some secrets here. As of late, the best model for pretty much everything is you can push it too far. Some people just think, oh, entities, I'm just going to shove as much as I can onto the page. And it's like, oh, that's good enough. It's like, no, that's terrible. That's a terrible job. And brands who take advantage of it now will be safe. Brands who don't take advantage of it now will have a very hard time trying to catch up with that. The systems haven't changed. What's changed is how quick you get into them. My goal is to get the click and keep the click.
Wondering which domains are winning right now? Now you don't have to wonder, nor do the work to find out. We research, test, and identify the trends for you before they peak. New release every week, limited inventory. Subscribe to Odys Trends now. Hello, welcome to another episode of Odys Podcast. Today we're meeting at the Masterminders conference in Manchester, and my guest today is an SEO consultant and AI pro with 12 plus years of experience, Ryan Darani. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for that. AI pro, I'm taking it. I'm taking that.
Yes, you should.
I will. Listen, as long as you say it and it isn't me, I'll take that.
Well, you talk a lot about AI, it's definitely deserved.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm very excited because we're talking today about using AI and N8N to influence AI overviews and LLMs.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
Yes.
That was a mouthful.
But I managed.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through your N8 flow, like from breaking headlines to live entity tagged articles? How long does it take to set up and how long does it take to run?
Okay, so I'll start with the easy part. Okay, so the setup is probably, I'd give it like a week, 5 to 7 days.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because anything with AI is a risk. If it goes wrong, being able to spot it going wrong quickly. So you could probably build the workflow in a day, and then I'd spend 6 days testing it to make sure that it's giving me the right answers and the models perform how I want them to perform. But the workflow is like, imagine you're in a newsroom for a journalist, like a paper. How do these guys typically go and find stories, right? They look for different trends, they look for different topics, they test different headlines, and then they'll hit publish. Somebody will say, this is good, we can publish that. N8N is doing the same thing for me. I don't have a team of editors or journalists. I have a team of AI agents that do the same job. So what will happen is N8N will basically listen to different APIs and it will say something has been mentioned about casinos. That will then pull into my workflow. And the first AI agent, what it will do is it will try to understand what the topics are talking about. Some of them are relevant, some of them not so relevant.
Yeah.
We don't want to risk certain things. So we'll filter some of the shit out and we keep only the good stuff.
Yeah.
And then what happens from there is the next series of AI agents will write the headlines, write the article, will query this big database of like all of the topics around casino stuff. And then we'll pull that in to write the article. And at that stage, it goes to a human.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. My question was, is there a human involved at any point in the process?
Yeah, because, I mean, any industry is the same, but especially in iGaming, like regulations, compliance issues, some of the fines attached to getting some of that stuff wrong, it's super important. And I wanted to make it easy. So the N8N workflow will basically ping me on Slack or ping whoever on Slack or an email. And it will basically say, here is the finished article or versions of an article. Which one's good, which one's shit, send it back. And only then and there do they say, we can publish that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how are you using AI agents to optimize your output, like in iGaming, for example?
So I want to share some secrets here. Okay.
Nice. Secret sauce, that's
secrets.
what we like.
I'm going to share some of the secret sauce. So I have 4 different AI agents in one workflow.
Okay.
They're split because if you use one agent for multiple different things, there's a high likelihood they're going to get it wrong because it will try to figure out different steps. It's not smart enough to figure out how they connect. So you break it up into different steps. Like if there was a content writer and a content editor and a content QCer or whatever, same principle. So AI agent will qualify itself. So it will produce something and check whether or not it's done what it should have done.
Okay.
We'll have someone do the research, AI agent do the research. So that will be like step number 1. We'll have an agent query a RAG database, which is just a big sheet of information to make sure that we're talking about the right stuff. We're not breaching any compliance issues. And then we'll have an agent actually write the content, which is based on like brand guidelines, different personas, different guardrails, because if you let AI agents do their own thing, they're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
So we try to like keep it all nice and compound and safe.
Yes. So how do you actually make sure it's safe?
Human in the loop.
Okay.
Human in the loop is the best thing. We basically get it 80% of the way there with AI. And then the remaining 20%, especially in this industry, has to be a human.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. And is it one person or more?
So I think it depends, which is like the worst answer I could have given. So I'm sorry about
That's very typical for SEO. You know, that we hear it all the time.
It's like an impulse, almost like it depends. I think the industry as a whole need to think about not replacing, but content editors becoming the commodity. Like people that understand how AI generate content is going to be much better than having somebody who is a human writer. Unfortunately, that's just the truth of the industry. Like human writers are becoming more and more or less important, and editors are becoming more important.
Yeah.
So one person you could probably dedicate to like 100 articles a week easily, which in iGaming is probably quite low. Some companies are doing like 300 articles a week, depending on the size of their brand. So yeah, I could dedicate one person to 100 articles a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And can you tell us about instant boosts? Like, how do you take advantage of it?
So similar. So this is how I think about it, right? I'm a simple guy. I keep things simple. If I was a journalist and something happened in the news and I'm like, I want to get that attention. How do I get it quick? That domain expertise allows me to get it quickly, right? Because I'm a journalist, I know how to write the headlines and how to do anything. But my goal is to get the click and keep the click.
Yeah.
It's not like I go on a story and then I leave 2 seconds later. That's bad. So with like Instant Boost and AI, the goal is to produce the article quickly because the workflow takes minutes. It's like done. And because AI has developed so much, the clicks stay on the site because the article is useful, it's accurate, it's factual, it could be promotional. With the intent being that once somebody comes onto the page, they either go onto more pages or they stick on that page to do whatever it is, grab the discount code, promotional code, whatever. And that first few hours is being tested.
Okay.
Like if the clicks are bad, you're going to drop.
Yeah.
If the clicks are good and you can kind of stay there, you get the benefit of the freshness.
Yeah. And then dwell time, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You want someone on the page for as long as possible, sending the right signals to Google, and that will then help you for the week or 2 weeks that that's popular.
Awesome. Very cool. So using this system, are you able to rank in LLMs and AI overviews like consistently?
Oh yeah. Like it's I think it's interesting because it feels like SEO 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So
How
easy
so?
now because SEO 10 years ago, you could do a lot of stuff and things that were really simple and it would work. Keyword stuffing, certain link tactics.
Backlinks.
You could utilize backlinks in the right way and it would work. And then obviously over time, it's become more difficult to game these systems.
Yes.
LLMs right now, and I'm sure you've had guests tell you this, right?
Yes,
it's so easy to manipulate.
Yes.
The thing is, the systems haven't changed. What's changed is how quick you get into them. So it's still about content structure. It's still about quality of the content. It's still about where you appear online, which high authority sites you get.
Yeah.
And leveraging those old tactics work today very well. and I don't know how long they will work. But for right now, good content on the right sites with good AI content is like, that's all you need to do. And brands who take advantage of it now will be safe. Brands who don't take advantage of it now will have a very hard time trying to catch up with that.
True.
Because it's already set.
Yes.
The systems will be changed. So if you do it now, you're ahead.
So actually, I was thinking like, knowing that different LLMs pull data from different sources like Bing, Google, how do you make sure that you rank in them all? Or do you concentrate on specific ones?
It's there is definitely, like, if you think about, I always think of, bring it back to how Google works.
Yeah.
There are like certain sites that Google loves all the time. It doesn't matter which industry you're in, same sites always seem to do pretty well. Same applies to LLMs. So ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini uses obviously Google, but it's still referencing certain sites. It will use those sites in the exact same way. Where it gets interesting is where it breaks down by vertical. So like iGaming, for example.
Okay.
Different news sites are better than other news sites. LLMs will use certain platforms over other platforms. And the way you find that out, I unfortunately had to do the hard task of doing this, is you repeat tasks thousands of times. Thousands of times. You're like, right, every single time I do this, this site pulls in. Every time I do this, this site pulls in. And it's pretty consistent. So the way that I would do it is I think about it in any other way, like you would a traditional search engine.
Okay.
Which sites appear the most often, and can I be on them? And that's literally it.
And can you automate that process of like finding out which
can now.
sites pull out?
Yeah, I can now. I wish I had that skill 6 months ago. But
so you did that manually?
I did it manually.
Oh, wow.
But you can now query things at scale.
Yeah.
That's how these like brand trackers are coming out on AI.
Okay.
They're just querying it a lot of times. But that's how you do it, basically.
Okay. So what new sources or APIs are you tapping into with the N8 to find iGaming breaking stories?
So, a little bit of more secret sauce. There's a couple of marketplaces that exist where you don't incur heavy costs. There's a lot of API fees that are very expensive because they're attached to a tool.
Yes.
So you have to pay their fees to do it, right?
Yes.
But there are marketplaces that exist where you can tap directly into the endpoint for like pennies. So one of the marketplaces I use is Applify, and it has like 50,000 endpoints. And another one is Firebase, where you can crawl websites, you can crawl whatever you want basically on the internet.
Awesome.
So I probably tap into your typical like exploding topics, Glimpse, Google Trends. I'll combine them with like YouTube. So I'll ping certain channels and I'm extracting information from those.
Okay.
Run that into my system and it will filter out the shit and keep the good stuff.
Yeah. How do you make sure these sources are relevant and accurate? How do you sift through which ones are relevant, which ones are shit?
Thankfully, not manually.
So, good to hear.
Yeah. So the N8N workflow has these things called, and you know what I'm talking about here. They have these things called routers. So what it will do is it will say, what I've just collected is talking about 10 different topics and 2 of them don't match your filter. Like if you imagine you go on any website and you do a filter by like black, red, blue, and it returns only those things. N8N work in the same way. So if I pull in only relevant stuff for casino brands, and if it pulls in the shit, it will cut the workflow off. So it won't send it on to the next AI agent. It will stop there and it'll only let through the good stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really helpful,
nice.
really handy.
That's cool.
It's really good.
So iGaming is known for regulations and different jurisdictions. So how do you ensure that these workflows are compliant with regulations in the given regulated market? And at the same time, they satisfy the EAT?
Very difficult. It is very difficult because it is varies a lot. Different regulations, different markets, different rules.
And changes.
And
that
changes
constantly
all of the
changes
time.
too.
So one of the best ways you can control that, I think anybody can build an N8N workflow. Anybody can do anything with AI. at like the base level
Yeah.
is understanding how you set it up. Because if you put shit in, you're going to get shit out.
Yes.
So if you set it up in the correct way, so you feed in documents about regulations, guidelines, compliance issues, wording that you can't say, brands that you can't mention, and you store it in what's called a RAG database. A RAG database, I'll say it a whole bunch in this, is like, just imagine a big Excel sheet with loads of data in it. And anytime you want to write a topic, your AI agent will go to that database and say, can I talk about this or not? So the good thing about AI is that it's dynamic. It will think.
Okay.
If you do it yourself manually or you try to use an Excel sheet, everything's like, it just is what it is. It's static. A RAG database, if you feed it compliance rules and regulations for the UK market and say it changes every 3 months.
Yeah.
The good thing is the database can be updated and refreshed.
Okay.
So every 3 months you might change it with new stuff and make sure that you're not like breaching any guidelines.
Yeah.
Whereas with an Excel sheet, it would be fucking terrible. It'd be a nightmare. So that's how we handle that. We set it up correctly at the start.
And that's manual?
At the start, it's manual.
Okay.
You can use AI obviously to grab documents. You know, you can query certain things, so you don't have to go and find it manually, or the brand might provide them to you.
And how do you handle the entity optimization in your workflows to make sure like you rank in iGaming related entities?
Here's a mind-blowing thing, right?
Okay.
Is that this entity SEO
Yeah.
has existed for decades. Surfer talks about it. Any on-page optimization tool has always said, put your keyword in and we'll give you versions of it or an entity associated to it. But the best source of that is the search engine you're trying to rank in, which is Google. And Google has an NLP API, which means you can query in natural language. You know, if I put in online slots, I might be able to then find out entities associated with it. It might be strategy, it might be number of spins, it might be deposits, whatever. So similar to like the brand guideline stuff, we'll set up a big database, which is dynamic, and it will say, oh, you want me to talk about online slots? Let me go and reference this big database and what words are associated, what entities are associated to it. How do I use them in the content in the correct way? Because you can push it too far. Some people just think, oh, entities, I'm just going to shove as much as I can onto the page. And it's like, oh, that's good enough. It's like, no, that's terrible. That's a terrible job. So what I tried to do, I'm not as smart as like Corey or some of the other guests you've had on. So I'll keep it simple, is I tried to use the most important entities that will allow me to not only make that page really strong, but give me opportunities to link to other pages that match.
Right.
So that's how I think about it.
And get mentions.
Get mentions, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So are you also using AI to proactively monitor for emerging popular iGaming keywords? You know, for example, like if you see like a sudden search in certain area.
Yeah. So again, I keep it super simple. The way that I think about it is we would do this manually anyway.
Oh, okay.
Like same for like Odys, right? If you wanted to find something like your SEO trends thing, right? You would be able to, before it would be a manual thing. We find what works, we see how it breaks into the industry, and then we use that. We test what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
With N8N, anything with an API, I can reference. I can do it in real time. I can do it quickly. So let's just say iGaming and VR, right? They have 1,000 searches a month, and every single month it's 1,000, it's 1,000. It's pretty consistent. N8N can alert you to when that changes. So it will break out. It might be Google Trends is changing. It might be Glimpse has changed. Or there might be like a topic very similar to that has started to get traction. And that will then flag in either like a Slack message or a Trello board or an email to say, this has started to break. It's like 300% up. You might want to think about doing a story for it.
Okay.
So it's all about listening to as many places as you can on the internet without doing it by yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Without having the hassle of 400 Chrome tabs open.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can
Nobody wants that fucking headache.
No. So can you actually tell us what AI models are you using? Like, are you using, are there like favorites of yours? Are you using specific ones for specific tasks? Or are there models that are especially good for iGaming in particular? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I have spent an ungodly amount of time testing different models,
Okay.
like a lot. I'm talking hundreds of hours,
Wow.
unfortunately. So again, not secret source, but from somebody who has maybe not tested it before, this will be super helpful. Claude, without a doubt, is better for rewriting content than any other model.
That's my favorite tool for
You
writing.
use it?
Absolutely. I have the Claude Pro.
brilliant.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it. I think it's
I
great.
tested against others and it's always best for
Always better.
writing. Yeah.
Always better. It's like more human, more natural. It flows
Yes.
better. OpenAI, in particular, O3, and prior to that, O1 Pro, which is only available either through an API or the $200 a month subscription, so it's
Okay.
expensive. O1 Pro is absolutely incredible at like thinking through steps. So when you set up an N8N workflow and you create like an agent, you want the brain in the agent to be as smart as possible. So O1 Pro or OpenAI in general is much better to control tasks. But as of late, the best model for pretty much everything is Gemini 2.5.
Really?
So fucking good. So good. Like for research, it's got live, like I can pull in Google data, live time, real time. So it eliminates like hallucinations, which has been a problem for a long time.
Yes. Yes.
Fucking
How
nightmare.
do you deal with hallucination?
Hallucinations has been a problem, but the RAG database solves that. The RAG database is your guideline.
Okay.
Like, because it stops the model having to reference outside information and only your information.
Okay.
So that's how you stop that from being a real pain. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you play around with the temperature of the model?
Temperature wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will, but I'll only really push it to see with content production. I don't really change the temperature or different parameters when you're doing like set tasks.
Okay.
So only for the content writing mainly.
For the content.
Yeah.
And what directions are you going in?
I think you can definitely push it too far by trying to be too creative.
Yeah.
And it comes out reading like fucking nonsense. It's just like terrible.
I heard
like
Chinese letters, for example.
yeah, it's
you
like
push
I
like-
wrote it. I might as well have done it.
like random stuff. Right?
Yeah, and it's like I understand it's trying to be funny
Yes.
and creative, but it ends up being shit. So I'll push it a little bit. And the big thing I try to eliminate as much as possible is repetition of words because it's very predictable. So I either solve that in the settings, the parameters of the AI model, or I'll solve it in a rewrite prompt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can eliminate certain words like in the prompt. Yeah.
I can do pretty much anything
Yeah.
with a rewrite prompt. And that's how, especially in iGaming and any industry, if you put out AI content, it will rank. Like, I don't think Google's looking for 100% AI content. I think people who say that are just trying to sell you something. I think what Google's looking for is factual information, helpful information, valuable information. And if it reads like shit, is the user going to stick around? Probably not. If it's boring, are they going to stick around? Probably not. So I use the rewrite prompts to try and use it as like a UX tool. So readers use it and they're like, oh, this is actually fucking helpful. I'm going to stay around.
So the big topic for now is AI overviews. Do you see them as a threat to your workflow?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So if you think about featured snippets, when it first came out, everyone like shit their pants. They were like, oh my God, Google is trying to ruin everything, it's trying to destroy my business. And what actually happened, it was probably one of the best things for like affiliate bloggers and like, you know, because if you are able to optimize for that feature snippet specifically, you drive way more clicks. The big issue now is that AI overviews in some cases doesn't provide the click. So it doesn't provide the link. So nobody can interact with your website, right? So it is a threat in that sense. But what I would think about is when you run paid ads, it takes what, 8 to 10 times for someone to see an ad before they click it. is I would treat AI overviews in the same mentality. So whether they're able to interact with it or not is not the issue. The issue is making sure your brand is in the AI overviews as much as possible.
So are you using N8 to automate other tasks, other SEO tasks?
The only thing I will say to anybody listening to this that's like, oh, I want to use N8N and like have it do absolutely everything for me, is sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes there's already a software that exists to do what you're trying to do, or it doesn't warrant the effort to build an AI workflow.
Okay.
So what I would use N8N for more than anything is things like data analysis. So if you do use something like link research tools, or you want to go through a link profile, or you want to go through a content profile and you don't want to do it manually and you can control the prompts, AI workflows are brilliant for that, because some softwares can't do everything. They can't give you exactly what you might need. So if you've got like really specific SOPs that software can't match, perfect. Backlink analysis, content analysis, predictive data analysis. So you might look at trends and then use it to kind of figure out what your content strategy might be. But I wouldn't overdo it. I think a lot of SEO people are like, oh, it can do keyword research and it can custom our content. And I'm like, there's stuff that already exists for that though. So figure out creative ways of doing it. Creative things that people can't replicate. And that's the best use case for AI.
So how do you actually decide when it's worth to do it or not?
I would say, is it a bottleneck? Is it going to make me more money if I fix this problem? And I guess the big question is there a software that already exists? Because the biggest bottleneck in every business I've ever interacted with over the last 10 years is content, because it's expensive, reliable writers, and being able to do it quickly. Like you can't, if your budget is 10K, you can only get so much content out of that. With AI, 10K is basically unlimited forever, right? So if it's going to solve a problem, a big problem, and it's going to make or save you money, that's when I'll do it.
Okay. And can you use N8 automation to automate things like PBN builds?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is where it gets like risky, a little bit tricky, because it depends on the investment you're going to put into it. Because if you buy a domain from Odys, for example, that is like a significant investment, it's going to give you a good return. The last thing you want to do is burn it with terrible content.
Yes.
Right? Because it's gonna basically might as well just throw money in the bin. But what it does do is, because workflows are so good now, and if you're good at prompting, you can build a site quick with like Cursor or Lovable. So if you don't have to be a designer or anything, you can just build a website in a couple of minutes. You can host them for free. So before PBN hosting, obviously footprints and stuff like that was an issue. So you can host them in different places for free. But the most important thing is, if you do in different markets, different languages, you're able to, in real time, create content that's useful, post directly to your PBN automatically, and have it translated automatically. So if you want to do like the churn and burn model, buy a cheap PBN, chuck it up, get a couple months out of it, put it in the bin and start again. It's good for that. But equally, if you want to build an actual asset with something like an Odys domain, then using the right content is going to protect your investment. So that's how I would split the two.
Okay. And how well does it scale?
Incredibly well.
Really?
Yeah, because the costs are negligible. Like the cost of a domain might be a couple of $1,000s, for example, but the return would be huge. The costs of running these software or the automations are dollars, like not a lot of money at all. And with the right setup, that's the most important part. If you skip the setup and try to rush, you will fall flat on your face and it won't be worth the scale.
Okay.
If you set it up and you spend the time setting it up, it will scale forever. So that's the big part about getting right.
Is there anything else iGaming brands should know before testing AI builds?
The models are the most important. Models and how you control AI agents. So learning about prompts, prompt engineering, different sequences of prompts, how an AI model will think by itself without guardrails. Those are the most important things, because if you rush into it and you try to use an AI model to do anything in AI gaming that could put you at risk, it's not worth it.
Okay.
So I would test in silent first before you do anything live on the site.
Okay.
Start with the models, see what works best for you. Like you kind of know about the Claude and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Learn about prompt engineering as much as you can, or hire somebody that does. And only then, when you're satisfied with what it does, what problem it solves, how good it is, what team members it might be able to help, then invest.
Actually, what role does schema markup play in your N8 workflow?
I'll give you the straightforward answer. And to anybody
Yes,
listening, please, there's a lot of shit online. I'm going to dispel it right now, right? You do not need schema to rank in AI overviews. Anyone who says that is trying to sell you schema. Do I use it? Absolutely, because if I can make the search engine's jobs easier, I'll just do it. And my AI kind of workflow already has that built in. So it will write the content, then give me the schema block straight after. So I can just drag and drop it in. It's not an issue. The thing I think about is like, if the other 9 people in the top 10 are using schema and I don't, then I'm the fucking idiot, not them. So I try to do what Google, obviously, if it's ranking it, I'll copy it, I'll reverse engineer it. Does it make a big difference? I'll let the SEO community debate about it. I don't really care. I'll let you, whatever you're in the comments. Do I use it? Absolutely. Do I think it's helpful in terms of understanding the page? Absolutely. Would I call it like a direct ranking signal? Up for debate. But I don't think you need them for AI overviews.
Okay. But you should have it if you're one of the...
You should absolutely use it. Yes. If you can make Google's and LLM's lives easier, there's more likelihood that you're going to get picked up. So I would just do it as like a house maintenance thing. Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much, Ryan, for sharing so much knowledge and spilling the sauce. This is what our viewers like best.
I try my best, yeah.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed it and are more interested in what Ryan is talking about, follow him on LinkedIn. He shares consistently. Contact him. Contact me. I can act as an affiliate.
Get a little cut out of it, a little commission.
Exactly. I have his number. And follow us on LinkedIn to get more episodes like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.